Good morning, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host. Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna. Now, when you go to the farmer's market or the grocery store and pick up one of these great apples, the work that goes into creating that is enormous. But Kristin Hildabrand, Warren County Extension Agent for Horticulture, has some tips to make sure that we're well on our way if that's what we choose to do.
Yeah. A lot of people are interested in home fruits and, production in their backyards or somewhere they can just go outside and reach and grab. But sometimes people fall short of maybe some things to consider when they're growing the fruit. I know yesterday we talked about pruning, and so pruning is a part of the process with any of these small fruit production or tree fruits like apples and pears and a lot of those small fruits like strawberries and blueberries and all that. So it's really important to make sure that you've got sharp pruners, and we talked about lopping off shears are really good. These little hand pruners are good just for like smaller branches and things like that, and then the pruning saws are really good for like the bigger branches. So whenever we prune, the main thing that we're doing is we're opening up the canopy for maximum sunlight. We also want to help with our disease issues that we have here in the state because it gets good airflow going through there. And so there's a couple of different options that we're looking at when we prune. So we've got those in mind. We're also doing probably two types of cuts. Mainly they're called heading back cuts. And so when you're thinking about a lot of homeowners, we don't have, we can't get up there really, really tall just because we don't have like big pole pruners and stuff like that. So you want to pick a height that's manageable for you because, pruning needs to be a part of that, and then also spraying. So when you're looking at that, you might want to consider, like, especially for tree fruits, you might want to look towards a dwarf variety or also a semi-dwarf variety because those are going to be easier for us to handle and things like that. But with those tree fruits, we want to reduce some of the height of it, and so basically that just kind of promotes branching at that particular height. They're called heading back cuts, and so it stiffens that growth there so that way that you can get good fruit production. And there's also some thinning out cuts, and those thinning out cuts, if you think about it, we have suckers and we have water sprouts that happen over the course of the years, and so those get in the way, and so they can do some rubbing and things like that. And again, the thinning out cuts help with the maximum sunlight potential. So those are just the types of cuts that you can make. You also really need to consider the training system of that particular crop and knowing your crop. So like for apples and pears, we use a central leader system. So if you think about a Christmas tree, we have one main stem and then we have the laterals running off of that. So that's the kind of system we would want to look at for that particular, or two particulars for that system. Now for peach production, we're going to do an open base shape. And so if you think about, around Valentine's Day, we get bases and see they're open in the middle and then they've got the outer edges. And so that's kind of the same principle for peaches because the scaffold branches are around that outside of that perimeter of a vase. So really knowing your crop, what's required, is really important. And pruning is very important, but the second best option that you have is sprays. And there's a lot of people out there that want to cut down on sprays, and again, we would want to recommend that you get a good disease-resistant cultivar. There's also some other options of spray that are listed as organic. Some of these might not last as long, but they'll still give you some control. But if you don't want to spray at all, you're only going to get about a 20% fruit load. So if you don't want to do that, you might just want to buy from farmers market, support them, or go to the grocery store. But Joanna, I thought this was interesting. I thought people might want to look into, for apple production, you can take paper bags, and this is really good for insects like brown marmorated stink bug, and it's a pear-sucking insect. It's become a really big pest in the last couple of years, and what happens is that it will pierce and suck juices, and basically it calluses and discolors the fruit over time. So you can take this is like a brown paper sack, and what you can do is whenever that fruit begins to form on the tree, usually about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch in diameter, you can put a brown paper sack over the fruit. Now I don't have a branch to really show, but you could also cut this down. What you do is you're going to open it up, put it right over the fruit, take a bread tie or some kind of something that you can twist really easily, and you want to leave that on right up until usually about 2 to 3 weeks you want to take it off when it begins to color up. If not, you're going to have white apples, and that might not be the prettiest thing. But there's other options, like we have a dormant oil that you can apply really in the early spring.
And you have a whole spray guide that describes timing and those type of things. So if you're interested, you might want to stop by and check it out, or you can find it on the internet. Appreciate it, Kristin, and we appreciate you watching. Have a great day. If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.